Namaste. I am Kuthumi, but only just for a while I will be here. If you listen carefully, you will hear the laughter. And you will hear the footprints and the footfalls of that which is your mother, for she is drawing close to speak with you. But I would say that as you begin to prepare your hearts and your energy for that which is shared with you this night, dear ones, dear humans, that you set aside your preconceived ideas. You set aside those little doubts and the little fears and the large doubts and the large fears that have plagued you. Put them aside. Put them in a suitcase. Kick it under the chair for tonight. Throw it behind you. You do not need it. Tonight is not a night where we sit and we ponder the whys and wherefores of the doom and gloom. Tonight is a night of celebration. Tonight is a night, dear ones, dear humans, dear hearts, that you are not silly humans. Indeed, you are wise beyond that which is the creative force that you perceive yourselves to be. It is time where you join your higher conscious beings. Your higher selves are more integrated within yourself, and you are able to hear that which the Mother speaks. But I feel her pull now upon my coattails. I shall leave you and perhaps return. She is impatient to speak to you. As you can see, she is pulling me back. But I will be back, I will come forth, and I will speak a little later. This I promise, for I am Kuthumi. Au revoir. Greetings, children. Come close now. The fire before you is warm. The hearth that we have built together is warm, and there is drink, and there is food. So come close. Come close, children. It is not a time to fear me. It is not a time to doubt me. It is not a time to think of all that has occurred in a negative energy. It is time to draw close and let us talk this night. Let us be equal. Let us be who we are in the energy of who we are, for we are creative beings. I am she who has birthed you all. I am she who has taken you from my very womb and created you with the very elements that is within my own being. The minerals, the water, the components, all that is of me beats and flows within your very cells. You are my children. So it would not make sense, if you were to go and apply the logic of humanity, that I would come to harm you. And it has never been my intention to bring harm. It has always been my intention to bring to you to the place of awareness, the place where you are brought to the brink of your own shelves, of your own place of creation, to look within the very abyss of who you are and to step back in the wonderment that you are not going to fall into the abyss, but you are going to create for yourself the being that you are, the creational space that is you, that is your right to live in. But Mother, why do you shake? Why do you rumble? Why do you roll? Because, dear children, this is my heart. This is where the skin of my heart, or the tubes of my heart, have been blocked. I cannot breathe for that which has been placed upon me. I cannot take in that which is my energy, that which is in the flow of the fluidity of the universal energy that is rightfully mine. Because somewhere along your journey, your forefathers and many of you who sit here who have lived before forgot to communicate, forgot the ways of the ancients of listening to my voice. And yet many of those who believe that they are wise and believe that they are educated, and I use that word, dear hearts, my children, in a very loose terminology. For they are no more educated in the ways of the earth than they are educated in the ways of man. They do not look upon the trees, and they do not look upon the grasses, and they do not look upon my animals and my wildlife, my birds and my insects. And they do not see how they build and how they create within themselves the equality and the equilibrium of the ecosystem that is my very breath. Within the fluidity that is within the land that you live upon is the energy of fluidity. It must move. You are given, dear hearts, by that which is my creation, that which is my moving, yes, an opportunity to work with me. An opportunity to work within the very diameter and geometrical structure of the creation that is known as the creational spiral of this earth, of the planet, and bring about that which is the new way. To bring about with me that newness, that way of life that is within each one of you in the deepest part of your memories. Come, children. A little closer. Lean in. Hear the truth of what it is that your mother says. But do not be lulled into a sense of security, a sense of falseness, that because I speak and you hear, that all will be okay. Because it is until you begin to enunciate and begin to bring into that which is the fulfillment of that which is your creational time, I will continue with my movement. And I will continue to bring down that which is already broken. That which is being rebuilt, where it must not be rebuilt. I will require it to be removed. Am I harsh? I am strict. Am I harsh? I am loving. And I love you enough to warn you yet again through many ways, to speak to you yet again through many ways. That now is not the time to use the construct of old, the template of old, to rebirth this place. This is the time of birth pangs for you. And yes, you feel a little out of balance and out of body, a little frustrated, a little, how may one put this, annoyed with me because of the constant moving, the constant shaking. Your sleep pattern is broken. Your nerves afraid. Dear hearts, it is not that I continually do this to create this for you, but it is also for you to move into that which is yourself, a balance of nature, to connect more, to feel within yourself the knowledge and the truth that you are truly part of my elemental state. Many of you have seen the elementals dance around and then suddenly disappear before I tremble and I shake. Is this not warning enough for you to prepare within yourself a sense of balance? Perhaps I ask too much, for you are human. Are you? Or are you more? My great friends that are both within the angelic realms and the ascended realms and the outer realms assure me that you are more than just human, that you have within yourself a higher connection, a connection to that which is your true central place, the connection not only to source, but the connection to your balance of truality, the balance of that which is your divinity, the balance of that which is your true nature. Children, what I say to you tonight is not, shall we say, going to make you feel, oh, everything's okay. Because I will not stop the shakes. And they will come within the very frequencies that you have monitored and you have measured. They will be up and down. But know this, that unless one has already contracted with me to transition over, I will take no lives. Yes, that is my word. If one does decide to transition, to move, just as my orchards, my trees decide at the end of their life whether they are just newly planted or they have lived a long and fruitful life, it is time for them to withdraw their roots from the ground. So it is that you have the right and the choice to do this yourselves. And it is their choice. But I have none in agreement with me for the next period of your linearity. But this again may change at any moment. You understand this. For you are creatures of change. You are creatures of your own creation. Dear hearts, dear children, beloved humans, children of my womb, just like you would not deliberately go out and cause harm upon that which is your blood, that which is your birthing, neither do I. But just as you will, when those who do not listen to you, you will go and you will move certain areas and certain things within your own sphere to suit that which is the benefit for your highest good. So do I. For I am within myself a unique and living being. I am not just a globe that you live on. I am not just rock and water and grass and sea. I am Gaia. I am the mother. And I will breathe and I will live and I will change and I will fluctuate. I will allow myself to transcend and to move into that which is my energy shift of growth and expansion towards my journey within this ascension walk. And likewise, dear ones, my children of my children, I ask that you would join me in this walk, this journey. For we are not so dissimilar. We are not so strange to each other upon this walk. Many of you have been experiencing at this time of my expansions of your own. You have been experiencing much releases. You have been shedding your outer crust and become soft within yourself. You almost do not recognize who you are. And so it is, you do not recognize who I am. Because I am Gaia. I am Mother. And yet, I am gentle. I am the one that rocks you, even when you cannot feel it. Many of you have said, but only until recently have we had these earthquakes, this ripping of the earth. My children, I have always trembled through your grounds. Perhaps not as close to you as you have felt, but I have trembled, and I have created many things with the energies around. I have placed mountains around you to protect you from that which is the harshness of the cold and the wind. Because if they were not there, your winters would be so much more severe. And yet your summers would be harsher. The ecosystem that you have within this place is well balanced because I created it that way. And yet it is now out of balance. My marshlands are no longer. My deltas have been pushed back. Does this mean now that I ask that you rise up and you begin a great movement to rip up that which you have established to live and be warm and centered in? No. But I am asking you that you would look upon that area and look upon the areas that are severely affected and ask yourself, is it wise to rebuild? Is it wise to place upon this ground again that which can be easily flicked? I understand. I am asking you to seek within yourself a great and painful search. Painful because you may need to come to a place of true release. But can you be as well like the mustard seed? That once it is moved and placed within a place of growth, it can become established so it becomes the biggest tree in the plot. But it started with a small beginning. Can you be like the river, that as it flows and it finds something that is protruding and blocking its way, that it gently moves around it and goes back onto its course? Can you be like the wind and carry in your energy and your essence the perfume of that which is yourself as you touch the many others that you are with, blending yourself with that? Can you be like the sun within the farther sky that warms and comforts? And can you be like your Mother Earth, changeable and yet compassionate? Can you be strong, dear hearts, my children? Can you be as if you are made of that stuff that you call iron, which is just my element, which is just my toy? Have I not said to you time and time before, if you would but ask of me to direct you to a good planting place where you may put your roots down, that I would show you? If you would but ask of me, I will show you where it is good to grow the foodstuffs you need, where you would reap from the ground elements that would help enrich you. Why you put so much value into shiny stones and metals sometimes astounds me. But I will show you where these are, if you but ask. And I will show you many things within the stars above and the waters below, within everything that is occurring around you. I will show you the beauty. I will show you the clarity and the vision. I will show you the love and the compassion, if you would but ask. Now I am not asking you to make me that which is your solution, but I will walk with you and I will show you if you ask me to. For I am not only your solution, but I am your question. I will always create within you the question why, and I will always show you the answer. But it is up to you to find, to seek that answer. I will lead you by the hand at night in your dreams. I will take you into the dwelling and the wells. I will take you into the depths in your dream time. I will take you far below the skin that you call earth. And I will show you the many wonders of my true beauty. I will show you the rivers that you call gold. And I will show you the fruit that you call precious stones. I will show you the silver toys and lights that I play with, and that my elementals and my fairies play with. I will show you caverns of crystals that have colors you have never seen. You are fascinated by my crystals. I will show you these. You only have to ask in heart and in truth. But understand, that side of me is who I am. Just like the side of me that is moving, that is changing. I am multifaceted, just like you. I am multi-dimensional, just like you. So for you to demand of me to cease that which is I am doing is illogical and unbalanced. Because my ascension, children, human, is vital to your ascension. Just as your ascension is vital to my ascension and the cosmic ascension. It is this symbiotic relationship that we have that insists us and assists us in growth. It insists because we are sometimes a little stubborn, and we sit and we cross the leg and we say, I will wait for a sign. I will wait for the sky to turn red. I will wait for the snow to turn blue. I will wait for the cows to come home. I will wait for a sign. What sign do you need other than the love in your heart, the intuition within your own knowing that you are on a journey of greatness? You are on a journey that is leading you beyond what has ever been led before. Each one of your past existences, and many of you in this room have walked upon my many roofs and many groundings. You have had many lives, from the ancients through to the not so ancients. Children, it is not bedtime yet. It is not time to lay down and say, everything will be all right in the morning. It is time of growth. And just as when you were small as a human and you would suffer what you referred to as growing pains, as your muscles and your bones stretched and experienced the growth spurt, so it is that now you are experiencing that same growth spurt, but in the energetic realm, within the realm of your humanity that is encased around your spirit, around that which is your divinity. Your divinity is shedding that which is encasing it. Does this mean that you suddenly will be walking around see-through? Perhaps not. You will still have your human suits, but your divinity will be clearer, will be more recognizable by those that are going through and have been through the same. This is all part and parcel of my shedding. And yes, I chose your city. Is that right or is that wrong of me? It is neither. But it is the right place with the energy that needed to be released, that needed to be lifted to enable that which is the fullness of your land to rise. For just as your myths and your stories of old say how this was the boat that the great fisherman fished the other island out of the sea, or you could say of the old story that this was the great boat that was carrying your forefathers, and the great sea animal came behind it and then froze because they cried out in great pleading to Father Universe, to Mother Gaia, to all that was around, to enable them to be safe. Whatever myth, whatever story that you lay hold to, know that there is truth in the fact that this land was birthed first. And this land comes before the other. Therefore it is just and it is balanced that I prepare here. For this is my firstling of these two lands. And what is experienced here will soon be experienced elsewhere if they do not learn the lesson of what is shared here. There are many places that have been taken from me because I have shifted and allowed it to surface for a while. And I may take those places back. I may not. Or I may decide to rise even more amongst this land, lifting you further and further out of the waters that surround you. But this cannot happen until my clear breathing space to my heart connection is clear. And this does not mean that all of a sudden I need a huge hole punched through the very center of where you live. But it means that in the energy that you look at where you are constructing and construct it in a way that is balanced, in a way that is honoring, in a way that is life-giving. It is not time to be scared of the dark, dear ones. For this is, in many of your eyes, a dark time. But look, there is the light. Where there is light, there cannot be the fearsome darkness. So allow the dark fear to be shed from you. Allow it to be removed. Do not hold on to it. When you sleep at night, allow the balance within you to be that which you hold on to. And if I shake during your sleep time, roll over and say, "Hello, Mother, I sleep." And I will acknowledge you, and I will rock you to sleep. But if you waken with fear in your heart, that is what will hold you. And yes, there are times where my shakes are a little more violent in your terminology. I would say a little more excited in my terminology than others. But it is perhaps also that I am trying to attract your attention. I'm trying to speak with you. Will you not hear me? I have been speaking through my whales, and you did not hear them. I spoke through my dolphins, and you did not hear them. I now speak through my land. Will you hear me now? That is my question, dear hearts, my children of children, my birthings. My elementals dance around you, and they whisper with you, and they direct you, and they talk to you, and you walk by, and they weep, because you did not hear the message of love and of compassion that comes to you through them. You miss how they point out to you the plant of healing that has suddenly sprung up where it never had been before. And you think to yourself, oh, what is that doing there? And you walk on by, not realizing that that plant has not existed for many years. But because of the shaking, it is growing again. There is many things beneath your surface that you have laid down that are dormant, ready to come alive, that will assist your lives. But even if you do not remove the capping that you have placed, if you allow your intent and you allow that which is your creational being, your co-creational ability, you can join with me to allow those seeds to move from this place to another, where a great discovery will be made by mankind of plant life that is all of a sudden growing. And these will show you great attributes of healing, great attributes of usage for perhaps weaving and covering. I am not advocating that you return to the ways of your forefathers many lifetimes before you, where you dwelt in caves. I do not ask you to do that, for they were not as comfortable as you may think. But they were comfortable for what they knew. But there are many things that you can utilize that is around you, dear children, that you walk by and you ignore. I'm asking you to open not only your physical eyes, but your heart eyes and your energy eyes. I am asking that you would rise up within yourself and be the balanced being that you are. You are my children. I would expect nothing more. And yet I expect nothing. For I do not demand, neither do I wish, my status to be upon you. But I ask that you would look at me and perhaps learn. I am Gaia. I have much love for you. I am Gaia. I am your mother. You are my birthings. You are my children. From the days of Lemuria to the days of the New Zealand. And even from those days that some of you have been with the Atlantis, I will still acknowledge you, even though you did rather like playing with fire. But never mind, you have learnt and you have moved on. Yes? Place that which is your knowledge, place that which is your learning into the fore. Communicate with those that talk to me. And bring forth the new ways of being, the new ways of living. Bring forth the knowledge and the understanding you have of the constructional ways, and symbiotically connected in an indelible joining with that which is nature, that which is the heartbeat of where you live, and you will find a way forward that will bring a balance and a peace to this realm. Oh, I hear your question. How much longer do we endure? A little while, my friends, my children, a little while. In your linear time, in your monthly calendar, perhaps another 12 months. And they will get less and less. Yes, I may shake a rather large one every now and then, but generally speaking it will be less. I am not lying to you. I will not lie. But let me just say that just as you are sovereign, so am I. Just as you are interdimensional, so am I. And just like there are times where you would like to question and argue the point with your own natural mothers, and you feel the same to do with me, there is also the honor and the respect that you give your mothers, that you give me. And it is that honor that I honor you back with, and I reflect back at you. Understand, dear children, that you are in this place, this physical region, not by accident, not by birthing, but by purpose and by reason. It is here that you are grounding. It is here that you are standing. It is here that you are acting as my spokespeople, my ambassadors, my connectors, my network. I just ask that you would be a little louder. Can you be that? Can you be a little louder? Can you share a little more on that which is the balance and the truth? I hope so. I am Gaia, and I love you. I have much, much love for you. Thank you. You may leave the fire. Oh, namaste, dear ones. The Mother has spoken. It is Kuthumi, and I am back again. Sometimes when the Mother speaks, you feel like you want to run and hide so she cannot see you. But somehow the voice carries even under the very blanket that I am hiding under, and she still finds me. And even if I try my magic and I disappear into the ethers, she goes, Kuthumi, sit. I go, yes, Mother. But listen to what she said within her very heart. It is, as I said before, not time to be the silly, silly humans that we sometimes are. It is time to rise up. It is time to be the beings of divinity that we are. To step into that which is the ownership of who we are and why we are in such a place as we are now. It is time, dear children of Gaia. It is time, dear humans, to no longer avoid my favorite grey elephant that sits in the very center of the couch room. And we walk around things and we avoid talking about certain things because, well, others just may not understand. Well, guess what? It's time to speak to those people now. It's time to actually announce, well, actually, perhaps we need to do something different. Perhaps we need to look at it and we need to sit down with those who think they know the best ways and bring in a different point of view. But then I am just an ascended. I'm just Kuthumi. What do I? Yes? Dear hearts, dear humans, take what you have been given this night, both in the verbal and the energy. For there are many that sit around the outside of the wall behind the couches that have been listening to you speak. For you have been speaking this night too. And the Mother has spoken, and they have heard. And these great beings that sit with you, the ancients of this land, they are saying, well, let us see what these humans do. Let us see if we can work with them. There is some, and over here too, that they would work with open hearts. Because you recognize. Yes. As I said, tonight is not a night to be fearful. It is not a night to sit back and think, oh my goodness, I'm in trouble. It is a time to celebrate. It is a time to allow yourself within the very essence of who you are to rise up and say things can be different. Why? Because I'm different. And if I'm different, then things have to be different. Because I look at things differently. And if I look at things differently, well then they just have to be different. Yes? Do you agree with me? Remember, my friends, there is always joy to be found in even sometimes the most dour of moments. And sometimes the joy is by painting a red nose on the dour man in front of you and making him into a clown. Do we have any volunteers? Yes. But know, my friends, that when you find the joy in every situation, it acts like that lubrication to make everything slide that much easier. It takes the stickiness out of turning the key. It makes it easier to make the decision. It gives you an easy breath. And remember, dear hearts, within all things there is the breath. And when we can connect to our breath and connect to all that we are in that breath of that moment, we are in joy. Are we not? Well, my friends, I am Kuthumi, and I thank you for coming tonight. It is a strong night. The moon above, sending down many energies. And if you are careful and you listen with your heart, you will hear many voices. Not speaking at you incoherently, but you will hear the whispers of this land, of the ages past and present. Matariki, is it not a time of celebration? Is it not a time of recognition? Is it not a time to celebrate of all things new? It is the newness. It is the letting go of the old. It is bringing in the new. Funny it should happen around about now. Or maybe not. But never mind. I will leave that with you to think about. I'm Kuthumi. I love you. Thank you. Namaste.